Please, when you're ready, when you're recording. Hello, everyone. My name is Sean C. Harison, Jamaican singer, songwriter, poet, general writer, mental health advocate, mental illness sufferer, and something of a giver and community person from the parish of St. Thomas. At this time, I'm at the Saunders Basic School, which has been a mammoth and monolith institution in the Morant Bay area of the parish of St. Thomas for a number of years. Now, under Mrs. Christine Bailey's guidance and leadership, the school had flourished for a number of years, and I know we had some good years with our children in this place, in this institution. And I remember other teachers who were here too, who worked very hard and assiduously when Mrs. Bailey was in her tenure here. And we want to pay homage, first of all, to the legacy of Mrs. Christine Bailey, and to acknowledge in her death and in her absence, and in also the hearing of her very own children and grandchildren, the sterling work that she has done with the infants of the parish of St. Thomas, Jamaica. And very largely because of her, I was motivated to come here to make a presentation of these things which would have been gained through, my instrumentality, mobilizing friends and acquaintances and givers and interested persons, and relatives who have contributed. And most of what I got that I have bought here has come from contributions that were for me personally. But I decided I had to make this sacrifice. And thank God we have gotten almost everything that we set out to get. I remember I consulted with Miss Nelson, who is the principal here in charge. I consulted with her last week, Monday, to find out what the real needs of the school were. And she told me some things, and she was so gracious and humble even up until Saturday night or Saturday or Sunday when I called her to ask her, is there anything more? She just kept on saying, whatever we get, we are so thankful. And I'm so grateful to know that, she values the contributions that we are making at this point so much that she would always at every turn be thanking us. And so I myself want to thank God for the very fact that these things have been procured for the school. And so as these things come, just in time to, be utilized for the children and for the benefit of the children of the Saunders Basic School, from the Bamboo River community, from the Church Corner community, from every recess and every, place in St. Thomas that they come from. I just pray that these products and these items will really and truly make a significantly positive impact and difference on and in school life here. Yes. And so we are just going to do a little run through of the items that we have here very quickly. So please come up, Mr. Grant. Mr. Grant is actually recording now. So this is 3 gallons of hand soap. This is 3 gallons of sanitizer. This is 3 gallons of liquid soap. This is 5 gallons of bleach. This is 20 pounds of detergent, soap powder. This is 2 quarts of hand sanitizer. We used to always use this in COVID time. This is a gallon of rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. This is 1,005 cake soaps that we use to wash our whites and other stubbornly stained clothes. This is a mop. This is a dry mop. These are disposable spoons. These here are a total of 25 dishes. This is a total of 15 cups for the children and a jug for the cups to be poured into, right? A pitcher, right? These are scouring pads that are needed for cleaning. These are 2 brooms which were donated by one of the sponsors. This is a broom with a dust catcher. I don't know exactly what it's called, but she had expressed that she would have needed one. These are washcloths to wipe down the place. These are little towels for when the children get messy and they have to be bathed for them to be dried off with. These are dish towels. These are dish rags that are for the kitchen. These two are for the kitchen. This is a dozen. This is actually three bathing towels. This is 10 cleaning cloths. This is a dozen dish cloths. These are 3 soap dishes. This is a dozen and a half bathing rags for the children. As I said, this is 1 dozen bar soaps to bathe the children whenever they get messy. These here are actually 40 exercise books from a previous disbursement, that I did to the Wilmington Primary School. I saved back some of these exercise books to present to the Saunders Basic School. These are 2 mop heads, wet mop heads. These are a dozen tissues. These are, I believe, 10 or 12 paper scissors. This is 100 sharpeners. As I said from before, these are pencils that I would have gotten from a donor, as well as pencils I took, some of which I took from what I gave to Wilmington because they were given a whole lot. So I just preserved some of them for this purpose. And these are erasers for pencil tops, pencils, and these are pencil erasers. So yes, this is the extent. Hold it up now and show me. This is the extent to which we have been able to supply the Saunders Basic School with these necessary items. Now, please go from that angle so that we can get the lighting, so that Miss Nelson can be in the picture. Come up, Miss Nelson, and we can have a few words from her when I am through. But first of all, I would love to mention the kind persons who helped in direct and less direct ways, but I thank them all. Now, some people don't like to be mentioned. That's why I'm not calling out the full names, but I have to make note of Miss or Mrs. S. Brown from the UK, Mr. D. Bolton from the US, Mr. F. James from Kingston, Miss S. Fuller, who is in Canada, Mrs. SC, who didn't want to be named, who from the last distribution was very instrumental. I want to thank you so much, Mrs. S. TCC. God bless you. Dr. K. Goldburn from Kingston, Mrs. S. Lewis Schultz, Miss Brown from the St. Thomas Health Department, Mrs. S. Johnson from the UK, and Mr. E. Miles from right here in Morant Bay St. Thomas, Jamaica. Through your kind contributions, which were for me personally, but I made the sacrifice. I don't think you'll be mad with me. This is more than a worthy cause, because you know what? Basic schools and elementary schools in Jamaica are poorly treated, poorly supported by even the government, where even the poor teachers and the principals and the other staff are oftentimes not paid sufficient, just dregs from the school fees. And I'm appealing to the government of Jamaica. You must rearrange your priorities. You give everything to tertiary level institutions and you pay them exorbitant sums for lecturing. You also fund high schools and you put a lot of effort into, high schools throughout Jamaica. But our primary schools, and most so our basic schools, are grossly neglected and underfunded. The priorities must shift, and people must begin to see that if people have to take responsibility for children in their formative years, then cleaning them, feeding them, and taking care of them, protecting them, then there must be a shift in the emphasis that we place on education and educational institutions at all levels in Jamaica. If Jamaica is going to be a better place, we are going to need to have people set their priorities straight and do what's important and do what's most important and give due to what and who, to whom and what and who and where it is due. So I want to appeal to governments, improve basic school staff's salaries. Please give them the resources they need, because these children at this stage, this is where everything either goes up or down in the trajectory that the children's lives take for the rest of their lives. So you cannot tell me that the university level education must take more precedence than basic schools. No, please governments, do better. And these are my few words, and it is my utmost pleasure to have been here to present these. And I'm going to ask Ms. Nelson right now to say a few words. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to say my name is Charlotte Nelson, and I just want to take time out in thanking Mr. Sean Harris to come here at such a time like this with his sponsors sponsoring us these wonderful items that he had presented to us, this contribution. You know, we are so thankful, sir. We appreciate it a lot.
My pleasure.
You know, we hardly have persons coming around giving us stuff, and you came here humbly and asking what we need, and I spoke to you, and here you are. We just want to say we appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts, and we just want to thank you, sir. God bless you, and I pray that your store basket will never be empty, and I thank the other sponsors as well, and that God will continue to bless them as they continue to distribute these wonderful items to the schools. God bless you all in Jesus' name.
God bless you, Ms. Nelson. And I'm going to ask you to use the camera as we shake hands. Again, everyone, I just want to, as an addendum to all that has been done and said here today, make an appeal to the governments of Jamaica to see to it that basic school teachers and staff are outfitted with their old age and disability pensions if it comes to that, where they cannot work anymore because of some, circumstance that is beyond their control. I had to leave the St. Thomas Health Department as a clerk without the prospect of becoming pensionable and having a pension, even in light of the fact that I became medically unfit and unwell to work. And I know what it feels like to be surviving on skimmings. All I got was my NIS invalidity pension, and that's all I am surviving off to date, excepting for and in addition to the contributions that kind persons give to me and my own creativity. It's not a nice feeling to know that when you have done your best and have exhausted your productive years, you are left out in the cold and there is no provision made for you. I want to appeal to governments, JLP and PNP and any other person concerned that when it comes to our pensions, that should be more than a priority, top priority, because at the end of the day, it looks to me and it rings out as the heights, as being the heights of nonchalance, the heights of ingratitude, and the heights of callousness and uncaring. Do not care what these wonderful people who have taken care of our children, do not care what happens to them in their old age. And I'm appealing to governments, your pension should not be granted on the basis of your contributions to any pool or whatever, or any eligibility that has to do with your own contribution. It should be based on the merit of the person who has worked and who has labored and who has toiled. People in the infirmaries, people also in the Ministry of Health and in the health department are also left out in the cold. I've known a number of persons like me who left the health department right out there in St. Thomas in license, who never got anything. And my heart goes out for these poor basic school staff and teachers. I know one basic school teacher who gave her service and had to be boxing bout, as we say, with nothing gained. It cannot be. It must stop. Give people their due and make people who have given their service comfortable in their golden years. So thank you so much. I just wanted to say those few words. And I'm saying not just pittances, but good recompense and compensation so that we can be comfortable. Many of us who have been clerks and who have worked at the floor levels in government, if you know what we are getting for pensions and what they are getting, if they didn't have their children, and if they didn't have a little savings and through their own ingenuity and creativity, if they didn't have that, heaven help them. And many of them are only surviving barely. So these are my few words. Thank you. These are the actual grounds of the Saunders Basic School that need perking up. You see the roof is gone here from the shed, and the children need sometimes when they are outside not to be in the burning sun. And a couple window panes are missing and furniture inside is scanty. Miss Nelson said she needed furniture. And we see here that some of the furniture is missing and there's a need for more. So I'm asking and appealing to the people of St. Thomas, Jamaica, to come together and let's make this institution, every bit of what it was in Mrs. Bailey's time and tenure. Thank you.